Good morning, and welcome to another bright, sunshiny day here in Winnipeg. That sounds like the way I opened up yesterday's episode, doesn't it? Well, when it's a nice, bright, sunshiny day, hey, may as well enjoy it and talk about it, right? Okay, we made progress here yesterday afternoon and evening, and it did not come without difficulties. In fact, I think one of the viewers made a comment on yesterday's episode, and he said something about bull in a china shop. I've used that phrase myself to talk about the way I do things. Yeah, bull in a china shop, and that's kind of the way it went yesterday. I didn't accidentally break something, but I had to deliberately break something in order to make a part fit. I didn't think ahead, but we got it. We got the problem solved. And I think that by the end of this afternoon's episode, we'll have these little parts down in place, and we'll probably have the funnel on. We might even have the bridge superstructure on. At least that's the plan, but you know, it never goes as fast as I think it's going to. I always run into little problems, or not everything goes well. Anyway, let's sort of roll back and see how it is we got to this place. Okay, I have painted the second coat of the 77 on the platforms here, still a little bit wet. And I just tried to put this piece in, and I should have foreseen this problem. It won't go. I should have put this piece in place before I drop these down, or at least one of them. So that means now I'm going to have to try and break one of these off. And it's probably glued on there pretty good by now. Let's just see what's going to happen. It's the only way I'm going to be able to get that in is to gotta try and I want to just go very slowly and carefully, and maybe I'll just take this out for the time being. Here we go. All right. I guess I may as well just take it right off, being as I'm going to have to re-glue it. All right, now this goes in place. It doesn't really fit very good. There's a mushroom vent there that's in the road. Yeah, in order to get that to go back. Okay, that mushroom vent's got to come out of there. That's got to come out of there. Don't know if you can see it, but I've got the tweezer on it right now. Okay. Yeah, in order for this to swing around, that vent's in the way. Okay, that broke out fairly flush. I thought it was protruding up a little bit, but all right, let's try our part now. least when I get it in place, it covers that damage. So I was thinking I was going to have to repaint that, but I'm not going to bother now. All right, let's try this other piece now. I think we're going to be able to make it fit. Not very good, though. Okay, I'm sure somebody was yelling at their screen, you got it the wrong way around. At least I think I did. There we go. All right. Let's re-glue here. Maybe I have to go just a little bit more this way. There we go. Now this piece here that we just put in, I don't know if I'm going to even bother gluing it. I think I'll just leave it there. At least that way I don't need to worry about making a mess on the deck. Okay, before we continue on here, oh, and by the way, I had my bow and stern reversed in my mind yesterday. Okay, this is the stern section. The other end where we have that part that I didn't know which way it had to face, that was actually the bow. That was facing forward. Okay, now, one of the viewers mentioned something about the fret number C, and you know, and he was talking about the C2s. And when I checked it out, I remember seeing all these and thinking, oh, there's an awful lot of these things that I got to put on. What, you know, like what are they? They're like little stanchions of some kind, and they've even got little. Maybe I should put the macro lens on and show you. But so I got curious too. Yeah, when am I going to be putting all of those on anyway? And I was thinking to myself, I'm not really looking forward to it. And because he was mentioning that on his Nelson kit, he's got the same thing, but the manual doesn't say where to put it. So I carefully went through my manual that I have online, couldn't find it, and just a few minutes ago I actually went through the hard copy here. I cannot find these listed anywhere. Does anybody know what these are actually for? Or are they for another kit? But that doesn't make any sense. There was only the Nelson and the Rodney of this Nelson class battleship. Whatever it is, they're very delicately made. Oh, instead of talking about it, why don't I put the macro lens on and just show you one? They're actually quite nicely made. Okay, a moment ago when I was setting this scene up here, I hear the beeping going on in my computer room, and I realized, oh my goodness, I forgot to post my video on Jim Steen's Model Ship Club site. So those of you who are used to watching it, you know, pretty much right on the hour, well, I'm sorry I was late today, but only about 5 or 6 minutes. So yeah. Anyway, I think you can probably wait, right? Yeah, all good things that come to those who wait. I like to think of my model ship episodes as being a good thing. Anyway, I'm not fishing for compliments or anything, right? Okay, here we go. Now you'll notice that some of these are number 1, and some of these are number 2. The number 1s, they just have 2 stanchions coming up, and the number 2s, they have 3. They're almost like a little tripod affair. But you'll notice that they've got these little holes here to pass, well, probably easy line through. But neither the 1s nor the 2s are shown anywhere in the manual. But I'm just sort of wondering, are they possibly for railing. If you want to do a really delicate railing system. Now there is railing that comes with this thing, so I don't know. Does anybody know for sure what this was all about? Because they're not in the Nelson's manual and they're not in the Rodney's manual. Okay, enough about that. Now it is very warm out there. Now, the reason I did not hear my alarm going off is because my air conditioner is running, and it was at that time it was about 32 point something Celsius outside in the backyard in the shade. Now that's pretty warm for Winnipeg at the end of August. Yeah, the end of August already. Okay, let's move on. All right, I've been thinking about these C1s and C2s, and they are actually, I can just tell by looking at them that they are way too tall to be for railing. They must have been for something else. Maybe later I'll take my caliper and measure it and multiply it out by 200 and we'll see what we come to. In the meantime, we got to get this on here. Now, we did it before, but that was before it was painted, so yeah. Remember I had said that what I could do is maybe file a little bit here where it's got to go. Okay, we can get one in. Well, unless I was to do it at a bit of an angle like this. I don't want to force anything and break anything. Oh, we got it. We got it. No filing necessary. Now we got to get it down here. Like these things are going to go on top of here after we get it glued in place. There we go. That's down. Now just to make sure that it's all lined up, we'll just drop this down. Yeah, that's going to be all right. I don't think this has to go down yet, although it could. I don't know why not. Okay, so let's recompose here and put some glue right there, and yeah. Now the main thing is that it's level with everything else, and then that's going to all meld into place there. And should I be putting some on the bottom of this and fastening it down? I think I should. I don't want to drip it on these. You know, I guess what I could have done is put it on and then dropped it down from the inside here. Oh, I almost spilt my glue. Yeah, I could have done that. That would have worked too. But as it is, I can see it sort of working its way out into the planking there, so I know it's going to be a nice fit. Now, no, these fit pretty good before they were painted. And it looks like they're going to fit pretty good again. So I don't want to be dropping glue down onto the top there because it'll wick into the paint. So I think I've got to get that out of there. I hope I didn't push it in too tight. Oh, there we go. Yeah. I wonder if I should use a different kind of glue. Maybe the Revell would work better right there. Where is it? didn't want it way down there. I wanted to get it just on the edge here. Well, that didn't go quite as planned. I can see glue there on the edge. So I think for this one, I'm going to just be a little bit more careful. I don't know if that's being more careful. Sorry to be getting my hand in your light there. All right. Okay, now if I carefully try to measure one of these things here, from the top of the ring to the bottom of the center post there, we've got almost exactly half an inch. Now I'm doing this in inches because I'm an old Canadian who thinks in inches, more or less. I can think in millimeters a little bit. But anyway, so it works out that it's pretty much exactly half an inch. Well, if you multiply that by 200, you would get 100 inches. Now, I used to be 72 inches long if I laid down. Yeah, I'm a little bit shorter now. So 6 feet is 72 inches, so this thing was probably about 8 feet tall. So obviously it was not for a railing. It was for something else. I don't know if I mentioned this, but I'm going to see if I can possibly find it in Carlo's book. Okay, so now we know. It's not for railing. Okay, I've been through the book, and the only thing where there would be a picture of something that's even close would be like here, where there's some davits, but they don't look anything like those stanchions. So I don't know. Anyway, let's move on. I think we beat this to death. In fact, I know we have. Okay. As near as I can tell, and I've said this before, as near as I can tell, we're done with step 37. 38. And 38 wants us to drop down some parts that we've already made. Okay, now here's what's going to happen. I think what I'm going to do is, and other viewers have suggested this as well, is that when I get these other parts on here, that possibly I make these hoops to go over them, and I think that's probably one of the first things I'll do. I guess we don't need to keep our little mushroom vent anymore, do we? No. Speaking of mushroom vents in a funny place, why would Trumpeter have a mushroom vent right there where that piece of superstructure had to go? Now that's another little mistake they made. Somebody made the comment to the effect of, are you going to let Trumpeter know about, and I forget what it was that they were speaking of, and I commented back or replied back to the effect of, they probably already know, because in all likelihood when a kit is first, I guess you call it molded or pressed or whatever, they probably have somebody that knows what they're doing putting it together to see, and they would undoubtedly know, okay, this is wrong. And unless it was something really, really serious, I can't see them spending a lot of money changing the mold for something that the modeler can later figure out for himself. Yeah. So, yeah, but still, it's kind of funny. Why would they have a mushroom vent right? Anyway, I think I said that, didn't I? All right, let's recompose here and find our superstructure. Now we've already made this. I think it's complete as near as I can tell. Yeah, as near as I can tell, we've got everything made here. Or did we put the wrong gun right there? I can't remember. Okay, like I keep saying, let's recompose here. Okay, if we start our build, according to the manual, and if we work our way from left to right, it wants us to drop our bridge and everything down first. However, it's been my experience that I have better luck if I start, from the center and work my way out. I don't think there will be a problem with putting the bridge down after we put down the funnel. And I'm noticing that I was looking at the funnel a minute ago. I'm very careful here. Okay, now you see where these supports come down. They are supposed to actually rest on top of this little building, whatever that is. Okay, so I think what we want to do is, instead of trying to put these on afterwards and wedge them underneath, I think what we should do is put these on now and then drop this down onto these in case we have to nip some of this off to get it to fit. So I'm going to just find these. I think we've already got them cut, but I'm not sure. Anyway, we need 2 F3s, and they're going to have to be painted. Well, they were sort of cut already. These parts here were removed from the main sprue for some reason. Okay, I'm just going to trim those up and paint them. Okay, they're painted. Now the tops have 2 coats of the 77, and the sides have one, you might say, thick coat of the 66. And it's not quite dry yet, but I don't think I'm going to have to give it a second coat. Now I think that I'm going to have to stop with this fast rotating business that I've been doing so much over the years. People are commenting how they're getting dizzy. More than one person has commented to that effect. So maybe what I should do is rotate a little more slowly. Anyway, I think that's the best way to show something. Or maybe rotate a little bit and then come to a stop. Anyway, I'm going to call it quits here for this evening. So all being well, we'll be seeing you in the morning. Well, it is morning, and it is time to see how this is going to look when we get our little, I don't know if these are storage boxes or what they were. Going by the size of them, I would say that they were probably some kind of I thought a little white spot there. I thought that was blue tack, but it's not. Okay, yeah, I don't think they're the sort of thing that somebody could walk into. They're just too low. Maybe I'll do this one first. Yeah, that's going to be all right. I should switch applicators here. I've got, okay, this is an old Tamiya thin, and I should use this applicator on this glue. I like to use this glue every once in a while, except I hate the applicator. It's just way too heavy duty. It's hard to put on just a little bit. For instance, it's so wide. I'm trying to get enough on the inside so that when I place it, it will run down. Okay. Let's do a bit of a dry run here first. I want to make sure that my fingers are in the right place. Okay, there's quite a bit in there. All right. Now, you'll notice that there are, let me just check the monitor, see if you can see this. Oh yeah, there's a hole here and there's a hole here. Now on the base of the funnel, there's positioning pins. So just let me go grab the funnel and see if we can get it in place here now. Okay. Being very careful where we grab this now. I'm just going to clean that up off camera. Okay, we got it. The angle was just all wrong here for me. Now, you notice there's 3 pins here. Well, I've got a feeling that this one on the end is not going to want to go in. And the reason I think that is because looking down into the hole, it looks like it's got a whole bunch of paint in it. Now, I got to grab this a little bit differently here. I'm not like one of those robots that can twist his wrist around and around and around. Yeah, it almost goes, but not quite. I think the one in the back here might be all right. Maybe the one on the side. But I don't want to be forcing this down and breaking those little photo etch supports. They're supposed to represent a support, that is. I think if I could just drop this down very, very carefully, I'm not going to be breaking anything. But if the holes are plugged up with paint, got to get it out of there. The roofs of these boxes, I guess you'd call them roofs or covers, act as sort of a little ledge, or sort of like a key, and you have to slide it in this way and then drop it down. Anyway, I'm going to just enlarge these a little bit here. Okay, get a place where I can hold down here, and when this plunges through, I don't want the chuck to mark up the gun tubs. So I'm going to go a little slight angle like this. Well, it didn't really plunge through like I thought. Okay. I can see that I'm going to have to shorten those supports because they're resting on the lids of those boxes, and they're holding this flange from going all the way down. They're probably, I'm guessing, half a millimeter too long. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to eyeball it here. I'm going to take off approximately a half a millimeter off each one. If that happens to be too much, and they are raised up above the top of those boxes, I think that probably, unless a person looked really, really close, you would not notice. There is something else I've noticed here, and that is I did not paint the bottom of this flange that goes all the way around. And for some reason I thought that this part fit inside of a hole, an oval hole on the deck there, but it doesn't. It sits on top. So that means I'm going to have to paint this now so that it doesn't look like bare plastic should somebody look in at a bit of an angle, which isn't going to happen. Okay, there is just so few places I can grab this. Should I put the macro lens on and see if I can do this up close? Just for the fun of it. I mean, anybody can nip half a millimeter off of one of these, but how many people can put on the macro lens and show it that way? Now, it could be that this ladder here is also going to pose a problem. It looks like it comes down almost as far as these do. Okay, now I'm just eyeballing this here. Oh, I see I'm going to have to repaint. Well, that's all right. Now, one more. I got to reposition my cutter here. Okay, I'm going to do the other side much the same way, and then I'm going to try it again and see if I have to maybe cut the bottom a little bit off of that ladder as well. A few moments ago I did a dry fit, and it seems that the ladders go on the inside in between the two boxes, so the ladders are not a problem. And I did repaint the photo etch and also that flange. We're just waiting for the paint to dry completely now, and then we'll try and put it in place. But we're just going to have to wait a few minutes here. Now, a few moments ago, I edited out the last few scenes that we just saw. And, okay, I got this before. I should be able to get it again, right? There we go. At least I think it's down. Anyway, so when I was listening to myself sound like I was kind of bragging about making it sound like only I could show close-ups of stuff being done and stuff like that. I didn't mean it to come across like that. I think what I basically was trying to say was how much fun it is for me to see if I can actually do it. And anyway, I think this is down now. think that's about as down as it's going to get. Now what I want to do is I want to get another hypodermic needle here and fill it with extra thin, not Instaset, and insert it in there and let it wick its way around on the bottom, because it's going to be kind of hard to get the Tamiya extra thin applicator, even the skinny one, to get in there without, you know, getting it all over the deck here. So that's the plan. But you know what? That's going to have to be in the next episode. I'll probably be doing it later this afternoon, so I guess it'll be in tomorrow's rollback. Anyway, thanks for watching, everybody. And all being well, we'll be seeing you tomorrow.